It was a dark and stormy night when the gates of the Blackwood Zoo finally closed for the evening. The last of the visitors had long since left, and the only sounds to be heard were the howling wind and the pounding rain. The zoo staff, a dedicated group of animal lovers, had already finished their rounds, making sure that all of the animals were safe and secure for the night. But little did they know, something sinister was lurking within the zoo. As the night wore on, strange noises began to echo through the empty halls of the zoo. The lions roared louder than usual, the monkeys chattered anxiously, and the birds screeched in terror. The staff, who were used to the sounds of the animals, began to sense that something was not right. One of the zookeepers, a young woman named Sarah, decided to investigate. She grabbed her flashlight and made her way to the lion enclosure, where the roaring was coming from. As she approached the enclosure, she could see that the lions were not in their usual spots. In fact, they were nowhere to be seen. Sarah's heart began to race as she searched for the lions. She knew that they could not have escaped from their enclosure, as it was securely locked. She called out to the other zookeepers for help, but her voice was drowned out by the storm. Suddenly, Sarah heard a low growling coming from the shadows. She swung her flashlight around and saw two glowing eyes staring back at her. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest. Suddenly, a lion leapt out of the darkness and lunged at her. Sarah managed to dodge the lion and ran as fast as she could back to the main building. She locked herself in the staff room and called the police. The police arrived quickly, but they found no sign of the lions or any other animals. As the night went on, the strange occurrences at the zoo continued. Animals were disappearing and reappearing in different enclosures, and strange figures were seen moving through the shadows. The staff were terrified and could not understand what was happening. The next morning, the zoo was closed to the public while the staff and police searched for answers. But no one could explain the strange events of the previous night. The lions were found back in their enclosure, unharmed and confused. The other animals were also found to be safe and sound. But the staff were not convinced that the zoo was safe. They knew that something was still lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike again. Over the next few weeks, the zoo was plagued by more strange occurrences. The staff were constantly on edge, and many of them quit their jobs out of fear. The zoo was losing money, and it was clear that something needed to be done. Finally, the police called in a team of paranormal investigators to help solve the mystery of the haunted zoo. The investigators discovered that the zoo had been built on an ancient burial ground, and that the spirits of the dead were angered by the presence of the living. The investigators were able to banish the spirits and put the souls of the dead to rest. The zoo was declared safe once again, and the staff were able to return to their jobs. But the memory of the haunted zoo would stay with them forever, a chilling reminder of the power of the dead. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel.